What's up, guys? Welcome back to Card Salad. I am Justin, and with me today, as usual, is Bill and Mitch. And I don't know,
Ooh,
I was gonna let you
what a new
introduce
deal.
yourselves, but then I said it, and I am Justin. Yeah, I don't have names on the
I
screen or anything, but
I actually watched a video because I couldn't remember if you had ever introduced us or we've ever introduced ourselves. So I went to watch a video and you always do it and I was like, "Okay, good."
I might have missed one. I think I
Yeah.
generally do it, but I might have missed one.
And everyone was very confused for that whole video. Like, who are these people?
I have no idea who these people are, but I'm
What
I'm
is
gonna keep
there's names
watching.
under them, but is that even their
Oh
names?
yeah, yeah. Oh, those are left over from something else. We're not even those people. I found this computer and this was all just on there.
I just walked into a house, started recording, uploaded a video.
Uh, real quick shout out to anybody watching these videos. We have been gaining a steady flow of subscribers, and that's been pretty cool. So thanks to anybody who is watching and subscribing to us. We appreciate it. If you like this video, consider giving us a thumbs up, and if you want to see what else we got, subscribe for more. And we're gonna go ahead and review day 9 of the Flesh and Blood Monarch spoilers. I think mostly Light Warrior stuff today, but we're gonna give it each individual rating on its like how powerful we think the card is, and then an art score at the end, and we'll throw up an average as the card salad score. And I'm going to be drawing the scores in to save myself a bit of time on the editing end so that I can consistently get one of these out every day. So let's take a look at one of the highest damaging cards we've seen so far. This is Bolting Blade, costs 4, pitches for 2, which a lot of the Light Warrior cards are yellow.
Hmm.
The Majestics. Um, blah 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 blah. It's got 7 damage. It's a majestic light warrior attack action. Blocks for 3. Bolting blade. Bolting blade costs 2 less resources to play for each time you've charged this turn. And real quick, I want to correct charge. I think in the previous video I said it was if it has to go from your hand into your soul, which is true. But if something is to charge, it has to have the keyword. Charge is only on light warrior cards currently. As you'll see going forward, there is some like just light cards that can be used by all light classes. They will sometimes go into your soul as well, but they never have charge. Charge is specific to light warrior. So you have to see the keyword in order to fulfill
That
that.
balances Light Warrior a little more than initially thought, I think. Because it seems like you could just do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it limits the pool of cards that are going to activate your better effects. So, because like you can still have extra cards that are going to fill your soul, which is good because you like Bolton wants to banish cards from the soul to give stuff go again, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he has charged to reduce costs like this. Mitch, let's start with you. What do you think?
Well, I mean, given what we just talked about right there, it does make this a little less consistent, but I don't think it makes it less consistent enough to where you wouldn't just automatically put 3 of these into your deck. I think this is a must-have for a light warrior, um, because you're more than likely going to be playing this for free.
Hmm.
Or
You know,
two at the worst case
yeah,
scenario.
yeah,
It's
two
I
for
mean,
and
seven.
it's
4 at the worst case, but like you're just not going to play this for
Yeah,
4. You'll pitch it for
yeah,
something else.
it's
yeah.
likely just going to be the cherry on top of an already decent turn, right? So
Hey, that
just
actually
boom, another 7.
is a little sneak peek into something that we've been working on, Justin and I. It
Cherry
is
on top?
this is the cherry on
Oh,
top of something
yeah,
that we did.
yeah. We did I think it'll end. Yeah, it's got an hour and a half left. The Fab Foundry who revealed the stubby hammerers, which will I think is at the end of this video. He put out a challenge to create basically like one of those Hearthstone lethal puzzles. They're like, how can you arrange these cards in the best way? But this was like, take a certain like take Bolton and use one 4 card hand and imagine a dream scenario where everything hits and see how much damage you can pull out of it. And this was our cherry on top. This was a 7 for free at the end of like a massive turn. And while that's never going to happen in a real game, it is that is a legitimate play, and this is, you can see after like going how wide we did and then ending with 0 for 7, this card is going to cripple you every time because you're already going to have to deal with 1 or 2 other attacks throughout the turn. Maybe they swing with both axes or use some other kind of high damage card, or go, attack 2 or 3 times and then finish with this for 0. It's just, you're going to be like, how do I even block this at this point? And it's just going to be a lot of damage coming through. It's so much pressure. I give it, I mean, it's a pretty easy 9 for me. Teetering on 10, it's that powerful, but you do have to charge twice to get the 0, which means you put 2 cards from your hand. So it's kind of hard, but there are ways to draw cards, and this could be in your arsenal, and so it's a 9 for me.
Same. I'm putting it at a 9. Very strong. Like I don't see a reason why you wouldn't have this in your deck.
You definitely just have
Like,
3 of these in your deck.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a 9. I mean, it's got not 100% consistency. I think if it had 100% consistency every time, it's a 10. But it's a 9.
Yeah, if this was a Bolting Blade cost 2 less to play for each time you put a card into your soul,
Yeah.
then kind of broken. But the charged really helps to balance that out.
Yeah, because there's some cards we'll see that are like 0 cost, charge a card, and if it hits, it puts it in your soul. So that would be like a 0 cost, make Bolting Blade free. So you can kind of see why they did that. Oh, and I found out there's a trash button here, and I can just clear the screen. I don't have to use the eraser. Yeah, it's pretty
Fancy.
saves me
Saving more time.
Yeah. All right.
Beacon of Victory.
Beacon of Victory. Now let's see. Will this be the card you use for victory? 0 cost, Majestic, pitch for 2. Light Warrior attack reaction, blocks for 3. As an additional cost to play Beacon of Victory, banish X cards from your hero's soul. X can't be 0. Target attack gains plus X damage, with X being the amount of cards that you banished from your soul. If you've charged this turn, search your deck for an action card with cost X or less, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. That's a lot to digest there.
Yeah.
I mean, break it down. It is a 0 cost with a secondary cost. It's a buff and a tutor at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
this really is a finisher. Like, Beacon of Victory is like this. You're either having an amazing turn mid game, or you're completely just gonna annihilate your opponent at the end of the game with this.
I mean, also say you got enough cards in your soul. I mean, this could as simply put as dig out a pummel.
Yeah. Wait. What can pummel buff? Pummel can't buff axes.
It's attack action. So you'd have to be using an attack and not a weapon.
Oh, pummel can do. But it has to cost 2 or more, right?
Yeah. Which you're likely going to be doing.
Okay, so if you so if you pay 2, and you've charged, so pay 2. So somehow pitch 2. So let's say you have a 4-card hand and 1 in arsenal. Let's say this is an arsenal. You pitch 1 card. You have 3 left. You pitched. How much does pummel cost?
2.
It costs 2, so you need 4. You could pitch a blue and have a tunic, but more than likely you're pitching 2, and you have 1 card left. That card has to somehow go into your soul, or has to charge you. Maybe they wait.
Well, you could have cards in your soul from previous turns because you don't have to have charge.
You have to charge
for the tutor.
To tutor.
Yeah, just for the tutor, but not for
right. But we're talking
X.
like the pummel play or something of that sort. Okay, that gets really hard. The tunic is really important.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight, and you'd need a pretty good setup. But that's like something it can do. It can
can
buff
do
as
that.
well as pull a pummel for another buff. You know.
Yeah, I think
and
pummel
it's free,
would be like pummel would be like really god tier level of pulling this off, but it is possible. But you can see, pulling another attack action or reaction out of your deck to add even more damage to this and I think we've seen some zero cost +3 reaction type stuff. Also, you better believe I'm gonna try to build an OTK deck using this. You just spend the entire game blocking and charging your soul with like 20 or 20 plus cards, and then you go in for an attack reaction and you banish your entire soul for one massive push through. It might not, but that sounds like, now that I think about it, if you're playing classic constructed,
That's a lot of damage you have to do.
that is you need to do a ton of damage. So that's probably not an OTK deck. You would have to poke them a lot throughout the game at least, and then maybe 10 plus could be a really great finisher, but I just have no idea how hard that is.
And then you'd be able to potentially find a card that costs 10 plus. My question with this is, we talked about this a little bit in a video previously. Would we be able to, if we charged twice this turn, making the previous card that we just looked at cost 0, would we be able to pull that card out, even though if we only banish 2 cards from the soul?
So that's I'm not sure where to land on that, because Team
That's
Covenant was
gonna wait on
talking
the
about
rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Team Covenant was talking about the exact same scenario, start tutoring that with this.
Mhm.
But they said you'd have to banish 4, and then you could search your deck for that and then play
Okay.
it. I think because it says it on the card, uh, something like Hearthstone, because it's digital, might change the numbers retroactively. But I think in
Yeah.
here, when you search your deck, every number that's on the card is what it's searchable by. So I think you'd have to banish. I'm leaning more towards that side of you have to banish
Yeah.
2 card, or you have to charge twice to search, or no, you have to banish 4 to search for it. But if you did this, and then let's say you have enough cards in your soul, you just charge twice, and no, yeah, so you have to charge
Mhm.
twice, you have to banish 4, and if you have an extra one, you can give whatever you're currently attacking with go again, and then finish with that extra 7 out of nowhere, which is a
Yeah.
very, very, very good play. Um, this is, I think this is just very clearly an awesome combo card, a finisher, a way to a chain, way to chain stuff together. It's definitely just another 9 for me.
I was leaning kind of towards an 8, but I think I'll go with a 9 as well, just because I feel like needing to have those other pieces to really make this a big play, but you're not always going for that big play. Sometimes you're just going to need that chip damage going through, um, and you get the draw card. It defends for 3. You're playing it for 0. That's just
You also
good.
don't have to use the card you draw. It's
Yeah,
an action card. Does So
I
it
think
can't
it's a
it can't
9.
be a reaction, right? It has to be an action. So you can't get ready for your
yeah.
next turn by pulling a defense reaction, but you
Oh
can
right, you
still
can't get pummel with this.
Oh, is that an attack reaction?
Oh,
That right.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't. Okay.
you could get one of the potions, pop it on the field if you are planning a big turn for the next
Hey,
turn.
that's true. You could put down the yeah, you could finish your turn by putting down Potion of Strength to set up for like a book play, right? Get it
Hmm.
in the field so that your Tome of Divinity could trigger very easily
I
later.
think I
Yeah,
think this is honestly going to see heavy use as a tutor over a buff. It gets
more than
that added
likely.
benefit, but you're going to be thinking, I'm going to use this for tutor. Because there's not a ton of tutoring effects in Flesh and Blood, and each one is going to be seen as very useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's an insane card. Valiant Thrust.
Oh, I'll valiant your thrust.
1 cost, 4 damage, rare, light warrior attack action, blocks for 3. Has a blue and yellow version for 3 and 2 damage. Not respectively, I said those out of order. If you've charged this turn, Valiant Thrust gains +3. 1 for 7 sounds pretty sweet to me.
Yeah, I mean, if you've charged one time, this beats out the value of Bolting Blade. If you've charged twice, it's a little less good,
Right. Yeah.
But you're often going to use it when you charge once, so it's better value at that point.
It's also there's also more room in your hand to do more things because you didn't just put 2 cards in your soul.
Yeah.
I think this is the power level is a 9. It's
Yep,
very,
that's a
very
9
good.
for sure.
9. That's what bolting blade
That
light.
was an easy decision there because
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was just 1 for 7. Yep. When you're and the trigger is something you're doing like every turn or every 2 turns anyway. Okay, I guess
and
if I must.
if not that, a 1 for 4 is still good enough.
It's
Mhm.
sure, yeah. I would agree with that. Bolt of Courage.
So many bolts.
0 cost, 3 attack common, light warrior attack action, blocks for 3 again. I believe the yellow and blue are 2 and 1 damage. As an additional cost to play Bolt of Courage, you may charge your hero's soul. And if you've charged this turn, and that will activate itself, if you've charged this turn, Bolt of Courage gains, if it hits, draw a card. So I think this is very good. Your opponent does not want to let this hit, and it's gonna, so they're gonna block, and then you have the choice of like, you could banish the card that you just charged to go again and go wider, or you could use one of your many attack reactions to push through and draw that card, and also give it go again. If you, I don't know, it's very dangerous. You don't want. I mean, drawing. You paid 0 for this. You do charge, so you kind of pay a card, but that's a positive, putting a card in your soul, and then you're threatening drawing a card and just continuing to go wider. It's a lot of pressure on 3 damage.
I'm really starting to wonder what their plan is with the speed and tempo of the game with all these zeros.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the I think that what they seem to be doing, and you can see it with the shadow stuff too, lots of zeros, is there's other sacrifices. So this is like, if you want 0 for 3 is not very good. It's okay, but 0 for 3 draw a card is very, very good. But you have to have put a card from your hand. So that's like, you could have just pitched 3 for this essentially, in a weird way. I mean, putting it in your soul is a positive for later, but still you're removing a card from your hand. So your turn, the capacity of your turn shrinks unless they let this hit, and then it goes back. It creates some like mind games, and if they do block it and you don't get the card, your turn becomes very limited.
Hmm.
And it's not threatening very much damage. 3 is
Pretty
I
low on
still
the
think
spectrum of what we've been seeing for this set.
Mhm.
I think threatening drawing a card and is still very good. So I'm gonna put it at 8.
And you're charging your soul,
And
so you're
threatening.
effectively giving it go again.
Yeah, you could do that. You could. It also sets up a bolting blade or the
Mhm.
1 for 7.
Yeah,
I-
that's an 8.
Yeah. Strong, not
Can't
too
argue that.
strong. Very strong for us. We use that in our thing as well.
Engulfing Light. 0 cost, 3 damage. Common light warrior attack action, blocks for 3. As an additional cost to play Engulfing Light, you may charge your hero's soul. If you've charged this turn, Engulfing Light gains, if this hits, put it into your hero's soul. So this one is just, in my opinion, strictly worse than the previous card. Almost exactly the same text for text, but it's like you get it. If it were to hit, you just charge your soul an extra time, which maybe if you're going for that OTK, or you're starting, it's like mid game, late game, and you want to build up a big soul to go for a finishing move with that one attack reaction from earlier. That's pretty good, but generally I think you'd rather draw a card.
It's good to note, now that we have an example in front of us, that this is what you're talking about. That second one doesn't count as a charge. So
Yes.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Now we have an example in front of
For
us.
the first card that was the first card that we looked at, bolting blade.
Yeah.
Yeah. This would only
Yeah.
make it a 2.
Yeah. Otherwise that'd be, yeah.
But I mean, you could play Engulfing Light, charge. Well, you would have Bolting Blade in your arsenal. Engulfing Light, charge with the card from your hand, and then this will go in, and then you can just get rid of one, use your hero power, play another Engulfing Light,
Yeah.
and then, I mean, yeah, that's 4 cards, 5 cards, and I guess you're only dealing 13, so not great, but
13's a lot to throw in a turn.
true. But 5 cards worth, and you will end up with cards in your soul
Not if you're
after that.
banishing
So,
them to go again.
but this will be going in as well. So you're gonna.
If they let it hit. And if you're using all
Yeah, it
5
has to
cards
hit.
to do that turn,
Oh
you're
yeah,
not buffing this at all. So they have to just
yeah,
go, I let it hit me.
yeah. So yeah, you could end up with no cards left in your soul, or you could end up with potentially 2.
And that's a very plain combo, right? Where I mean,
Yeah,
you could combine, this could be the other 0 cost that you play to charge, and
yeah.
then this is a little more threatening, and maybe they overblock in fear of
Hmm.
you giving it extra attack, but you're just gonna go for the bolting blade or something
Yeah,
like that. I think costing 0 and charging, it's doing what Light Warrior wants to do. I think this goes in your deck until better cards push it out. But I think you're playing this.
yeah,
I think any card with charge on it, you're playing in this warrior.
yeah. I'd go with the 7 as well. I don't think it's worthy of an 8. Definitely not a 9.
I'm gonna say 6. I feel like, especially directly after the last card, it's real hard to see the excitement for this card at all. And I
Hmm.
gotta drop to a 6 if it's kind of bland.
Get some salt.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a
Yeah,
good card, though. It's still a good card.
it still is. Yeah, I mean, if it were to put 2 cards in your soul, you're like not mad about that, and it
Yeah.
hit your
Yeah.
opponent for some amount of damage. So plus, like, we don't know how often you're gonna be like, damn, I need more cards in my soul, and like maybe you even like attack buff this just like on certain turns where you're like, I need to spend a turn or 2 charging my soul up, and this is an important. This will be a 2 for 1 or 2 for 2, I guess, if you do need to buff it to get the attack through, but has its uses. And here they are, the Stubby
Stubby
Hammerers.
Hammers.
It's a pretty silly name.
Hmm.
Generic equipment, arms, common, blocks for 0. Action, destroy Stubby Hammerers. Attack action cards with 3 or less base power. Gain +1 attack while attacking this turn.
Brutes will never use this.
Go again. Yes, correct. So in the challenge that we mentioned earlier, um, we chained together mostly 3 attack or less stuff, mostly because it just happened to work out that way. But we were doing Promise of Plenty, which pulls itself and goes again if played from the arsenal, and it puts the card from the top of your deck into the arsenal. So they they all pull themselves out, and they all get buffed by this, which is pretty cool to think about. But that never happening, and you could try to make a deck where you block a lot, and then most of your deck remaining is Promise of Plenties, but probably not going to do that. But the point being, if you go wide, and we've seen a lot of stuff in Warrior specific, this is generic and can go anywhere, but in Warrior specifically, Light Warrior, we see 3 attack, 3 attack. That's 7.
7.
There, in the previous days and in future days, you'll see more 3 attack cards, which and your hero power can give them go again. So you could see this add up to a decent amount of damage in one big wide turn. Could work in Mechanologist, doing a bunch of like 0 to 60s and some of the like blue or yellow versions of the cards that have 3, which is like pretty cool, but it's a one-time thing, and you have to line up the perfect turn and go super wide to get decent value out of these. Otherwise, I think you're just using like majestic or legendary equipment.
Does this go in Shadow Runeblade?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I think
What
you're
what
using
gauntlet,
too much high power.
what gauntlets are you using in your Rune Blade? Is it just a Rune Gauntlet?
I'm supposed to use the Arknight ones, but I'm using Null Rune because I'm cheap.
Gotcha. Yeah, and those Arknight ones, create a rune chant. Basically, when you have 0 rune chance, you're going to pay 2 to make a rune chant. I don't think you really ever use it other than that. But
Yeah.
those are just better. Every class typically has like pretty good gloves to use. But if you're making a budget deck, or you're drafting, or you're just trying, if you do have a plan for like a super ultra wide combo, like this could add a lot of damage. I think there's
Oh,
something there.
Goliath
But
Gauntlet. I'm
to
using
just
Goliath Gauntlets.
add +2 to a.
Yeah. If it's
I'm
cost
gonna,
2 or greater, add 2 go and yeah.
I'm gonna give them a 6. They're not useless, but I think you just have better options in most cases.
I'm
Yeah.
going with a 4. I think this is useful in not very few, but not every class. I'd say half or less. But then again, I don't have the greatest knowledge of all the classes, so
We're gonna split the difference. 5
Hell yeah.
because I want to control where it goes, and I'm the right score.
I didn't even think about Ninja. Ninja might be all right in there, or they're purely about poking you with
What would they be
their
giving up?
weapons.
What is the gauntlet they use? It gives something go again, doesn't it? Or
Do they have class arms? I think they do.
I'm gonna look
I,
into that.
But I think it's common though.
I have no idea. I know they use the Snapdragon scalers, which I believe are common, which are the boots.
Yeah.
Belittle. Belittle. It's a pretty funny card. 1 cost, 3 attack, generic attack action, common. 2 defends for 2. As an additional cost to play Belittle, you may reveal an attack action card with 3 or less base attack from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a card named Minnowism. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Go again. And to understand that, we'll look at Minnowism. 0 cost. Generic action, common, blocks for 2. The next attack action you play. The next attack action card with 3 or less base attack you play this turn gains +3 damage. Go again. So this is a card that needs to be in your deck when you play this. But generally in Flesh and Blood, you never. I mean, you can pitch stuff to the bottom, so you'll almost always have this in your deck if you haven't used them all. So you play Belittle for 1. It's got 3. It has Go Again. And if you have 1 more attack with 3 or less base attack, you get to pull out a free +3. It's not a reaction though. It is an action. So you can't apply it to Belittle, the current one.
Oh yeah, because you can't do that retroactively. But if you had another belittle, you could do that. What are you looking at? What's going
I've
on?
got like it caught up, but I had like a 15-second delay on my camera.
You'd be able to use Minnowism on the next. If you had 2 belittle in hand, you'd be able to use that on the next one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, imagine you had 3 belittles in hand, 1 in arsenal, and then some other
Like pitch
thing
a
to just
blue.
finish it off. Yeah. Something to
That's a pretty good turn, to be honest. You have a blue and 3 belittles.
yeah. I mean, I guess technically you're not going to do much with that last Minnowism, but at least you'll have it in hand for the next turn for buffing something else. So
It's interesting. It does. So one thing to consider that it does is it makes your deck smaller, which is generally very good in card games. Even if there's been some cases where like somewhat useless cards, like less effective cards, that you're kind of like, why is this in here? And then you realize like, oh, it's because you can just burn it really easily, or it tutors out of the deck along with some other stuff, and so it just helps drain a deck to get it down to only the important cards that you really need to win. I mean, and it does that, and it's also extra juice on another attack for free.
and they both have go again.
They both have go again. I think it's pretty good.
They can both defend, right? I didn't check Minnowism.
They both defend for 2.
Okay. And belittle is just red, right? Or did they have a yellow and blue of each of them?
That's a great question. I feel like there is a yellow and blue of each.
I don't know if you would really want to run either of them unless you were really trying to have some sort of crazy OTK combo deck and you're just using those to really thin it to make it so that way you can get to the combo pieces faster.
It's an interesting thought.
I don't think there's any instance in which whatever belittle has lowered with the yellow and blue that you want, unless like you said. But I
Yeah.
even don't think it's good enough for that.
But I
maybe
do
we'll
think
build a
1
meme
for
deck.
6 is good, split across 2 cards.
Yeah.
It's not broken by any means.
I'm at like a 7. It's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, I'll put it at a. I think I'm gonna go with a 6.
I think I'm actually feeling a 7 skidoodles as well.
I'm gonna need to see a little bit more. Maybe see
It
it
also
in
has
action.
it can go anywhere, which helps it.
Mm-hmm.
Are we at the same? Are we just the same grade on Minnowism, or because this can be a standalone card in your deck? Just a generic 0 for +3 on something that has 3 or less space.
I think I actually give this a notch above.
Is there anything else in the game that's a generic 0 +3 that doesn't have to be played from Arsenal?
Then
I can't think of anything.
So that's just pretty good buff, right?
Yeah.
It's not a reaction, but it's it enables. I mean, it makes any important attack more dangerous. Things with on-hit effects, like another card that's got +3 for Ranger is. I'm not against that. Another +3 for I don't know, any of the warrior effects we've seen so far that you want to poke with, things that are going to draw you a card or put stuff in your soul. I'd agree. It's
Bump it up 1.
Yeah, so 8, 7, 8. Yep, I agree.
very interesting. Which kind of makes Minnowism, or it makes Belittle better, because if we're agreeing that this is a really decent buff, having a card that can tutor it that has go again is. I mean, I'm not
True.
not saying raise the score on that, but I think the package together is very decent.
Yeah. Be careful who you talk down to.
And now we are on to the arts. That is all the cards for today.
Oh.
He's so determined.
This guy is so strong and is running so fast that his axe is bending.
I was just looking at that.
I like the little guy. I give him a 10.
The fact that he can run that fast, yeah, I'll give him a 10 too. Who made that?
We're scoring athletics now, not art. Alif.
Athleticism is an art form.
Giatama. Dita. I'm never gonna get these names.
Good job, Alif. He did this one too.
He did Belittle too. This one's a little less for me. It's I think it's like an 8. It looks good, but he's just, I don't know. His action pose is much better.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8 as well.
Stubby hammerers. This is pretty. It's just gauntlets. I mean, they don't look anything special. It's like
Wait, is he wearing them?
Oh, geez, is this the guy? No.
No. Okay.
I mean, it's not a bad art, but it's just gauntlets. It's like a 5.
At least they're not just floating.
Yeah, they are on someone for the first time.
I think that deserves a 6.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it points for the just glorious name. Right, because it's something to be considered. I'm gonna give it an 8. 6.3.
Trash. Oops. Engulfing Light.
See, not as bad as the first couple ones we saw, but this is a little blown out.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit. But it's
I like his eyes.
not a bad art.
Looks pretty cool. What is he? Is this like a monster he's like
Kinda seems like
eliminating
it.
right here?
Oh, I think those are like the tentacles coming up. I don't know. 7.
I'm gonna give it a 7 because it's not a completely clear art, and you like to know what's going on. Yes.
This one's pretty sweet.
That
the
one is
the
good.
coloring is
Yeah.
much better. And
I like this art. I give it a 10 all
10.
the way.
Yep.
I mean,
Very nice.
I love paladins. I love it. And so that right there is like awesome paladin style artwork.
This is
Yeah.
how you do a light card. This is like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not blown out. It's just you can see where the light is, and
You put the
rest-
darkness in the background to show the light like doing
Dude,
its
this guy put the darkness in this card. Put the darkness in you. Also, his name Fu Thui. I hope it's Fu Thu. That's pretty cool. Sorry if that's not at all your name. Valiant Thrust.
Good card, good use of colors.
Yeah, also like a lot of light, but not in a bad way, like the first few cards. She's stabbing look at this, like its head here or hand is like is this like a plant monster? Like what is this mouth on this hand like thing? And it's almost like a victory bell or weeping bell or something.
Huh. I'll give it an 8.
I'm also gonna give it an 8.
I think I'm gonna agree on the 8. Beacon of Victory. This is a great, fantastic. I'll give this one a 10.
Just that it gives me some serious. I mean, we talked about this once already. Some serious King Arthur vibes.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. King Arthur is one of my favorite mythological things, so I'll give it a 10.
10 as well.
Look at that dude with the dual swords. He's ready to go.
He looks like Armin, kind of.
Oh, I thought this was a girl.
Still looks like Armin.
Bolting
gorgeous.
Blade. Yeah, I love this one too. It's
playmat.
very
Give me that playmat.
Oh.
10.
Tanner.
Now we're
Where
killing
it's
it.
at.
I was worried about the light cards. It's still not on screen. I was worried about the light cards at first because just how blown out those first few ones were, and we weren't really liking them. They were just
too much
yellow.
Like,
yeah,
the shadow cards
so
just use colorization way better.
Yeah, like those first couple cards you pull, it's like you pull it out and you go, there's no light in the room, but the card is like, too bright. Jeez. But yeah, as we've looked through the whole set, it's just the arts are just off the charts. They're amazing. All right, well, this is it. We made it. We did it. Mitch, you got a heart out. You got to go.
Yep, I got to head out.
Cool. Thanks, guys, for watching.
For watching.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one. And, boy, today we're going to see the 4th hero, but that video won't be for like a day or two.
Calling to hear another warrior.
It's a lot of people's guesses. More warriors. It's another light warrior. Could you even imagine? It's like his second in command, Bolton's second in command. They're just like, well, of course we printed his partner with him. Like, you got to get more light warriors out there. We printed all these light warrior cards.
Uh-oh. You might want to get off of Discord. A card just got revealed.
Oh, is it the hero?
No.
Oh, what?
But
it's not going to show up.
Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
You don't want to look at it. It's not the hero, but I think it could potentially ruin the hero. So,
okay,
you're just gonna want to wait.
All right. Well, we're out. Bye, guys. Forward again.
Is he streaming through something else?
This oceanside
I think it's live on YouTube.
is about to become the backdrop for an unforgettable vacation memory.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're looking at it already.
Oh, okay. Let me back up again. I did not see. Nope. Did not see it yet. Okay, Rudy is revealing the fourth hero right now.
Is this the beginning?
No, it's right before the. I need to see the hero. Okay, Prism. This is the chick from the comic. Light Illusionist. They did make a new hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited, but I'm fine that it's not Ranger or
Yeah.
Mech because a new hero is fantastic.
Yeah.
That spells that they will bring more classes in, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Cold foil, please. Oh man, I had a feeling they were gonna do a second female hero. She looks amazing. I'm glad that she's the hero.
Yeah. Oh man.
Let's get a look. Let's get it. Once per turn effect. Oh my god, come on. Once per turn instant. Banish a card from Prism's Soul. Create a Spectral Shield token. It is an illusionist aura with if your hero would be dealt damage, instead destroy Spectral Shield and prevent 1 damage that source would deal. Whew, okay. Any source would be dealt damage. Yeah, any damage. This is arcane, this is physical. This is good. Okay, it costs 2 to do that though. What was her intellect? Is it 4? It's probably 4 and 40.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She looks really nice.
She looks pretty fun.
Look
That's
at that.
cool. See, when I saw the token, right? As I looked at the token, I thought that feels like a paladin thing. Maybe they're gonna give me a paladin, but at the bottom of the card, of course, it says illusionist token.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't entirely sure with the token.
Yeah, but that's why I went to look at Chains. Chains says Shadow Runeblade token.
Does it? Okay.
Wait, does she say she's a light illusionist hero or just an illusionist hero?
Oh, missed it. I
Light
think it
illusionist
says
hero.
light.
Oh.
Can't believe they did us like that. 3 old heroes and 1 new one. Oh man, this throws off all kinds of math. Oh, the Monarch
actually,
of
that is
Reality.
kinda-
Crafting surreal
It is almost a
spectral
little
shield
sad.
tokens. Why?
Because she's not going to have previous cards to play with. You're going to be very straightforward with the way that her deck will be built.
It is true she has a smaller pool, so the deck options are a little more limited unless they say she can use unless there's like a special thing about her. But
Oh yeah.
I doubt that. But I mean, there is still all of the generics that she can use.
Her weapon. I can't wait to see what her weapon is.
Oh yeah, it's not even. She doesn't even have like the staff part of it here. It's just this floating like potion looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She looks great.
Or here it is. Crafting surreal spectral shield tokens, which can be used to defend herself from harm or as a weapon with which to strike out at the shadow. Her tokens will be It sounds like her tokens will be able to transform into an attacking weapon.
Oh.
And then at the end of your turn, they are not weapons anymore. It goes back to being a shield, and that's why that one card, Glimmer, or whatever it's called, can be put onto your thing and then attack for more. But if it's no longer a weapon at the end of your turn, that you don't remove those +1 tokens. So she gets to keep that +4 for next turn as they turn into the shield. Or maybe it would just make more shield tokens.
So they're kind of like rune chants, but you get to block with them, and you can buff them.
Wow, this is gonna be sweet. You know what the good part is, though, is that since she is a brand new hero and we are going to be able to buy this set, we don't have to worry about like grabbing old majestics and legendaries that we
Yeah.
miss, right? She'll be the easiest class for us to pick up because we'll be opening boxes of her cards. Oh. Very
Look
cool.
out for some illusionist cards coming to you soon.
All right, now I'm headed out.
Okay. All right. Very excited.